Hi, everybody. I'm Pratibha Agarwal. I'm an immigration attorney. I'm based right outside of Washington, D.C. Excuse me while I just adjust my camera. Um, I am based right outside of Washington, D.C. in Arlington, Virginia. Our clients are all throughout the United States, and that's because immigration is considered a federal practice, so we can represent clients no matter where they are located. So as long as you have an immigration issue, feel free to reach out to us. We handle all types of immigration matters. We handle business immigration cases where companies are sponsoring individuals for various types of visas and green cards. We also help individuals maybe do their own visa or their own green card sometimes. And then also family-based matters, humanitarian cases. So we kind of run the gamut in terms of immigration cases and who we, and the types that we handle. We do pretty much everything under immigration. So if you have an immigration case, no matter where in the US you are located, we will be able to help you. So the first thing to do is, if you have kind of that one-off question, this is a great opportunity for you to ask it. My name again is Pratibha Agarwal. I'm an immigration attorney, and I'm located outside of DC. My clients are all throughout the United States. This is an opportunity for you to ask your immigration questions. Okay, so feel free to type in whatever your immigration questions are, and I will answer them for you. Right, as a heads up, I will try to be as helpful as possible. However, this is just for information. This is considered information, not necessarily legal advice. So if you want to call our firm, we'd be able to do a consultation and get kind of deep dive into your case and kind of get all the information we need to be able to really get into your case and give you your options, the timeline, answer your questions. It's really an opportunity for me to ask you questions as well. So if you're kind of wondering, how do you do this if I'm not in your area, right? As I mentioned, we practice immigration law only, and we can help clients anywhere in the U.S. And we do it through Zoom or by phone. If you request by phone, my preference is to do it by Zoom, because often, once you tell me what your problem is, or your immigration question or your issue is, I can show you some documents to kind of help us walk through the process together. It's just nice to have some visuals sometimes. Okay, so if we can help you, don't hesitate to reach out to us, and I will certainly take care of you. But consultations are only with me. They're not really with anybody else. All right. Okay, great. So let me go ahead and get started with some questions. That normally come up in our practice. And then, if you have anything else, feel free to pop them in. I know I'm coming on at kind of a weird time for me. So if you're on, you kind of get me kind of all to yourself. Okay? All right, great. So one question that comes up often is, I'm married to a green card holder. Do I need to wait till they become a citizen to apply for my green card? Right? So the question again is, I'm married to a green card holder. Do I have to wait for them to become a citizen for my spouse to sponsor me for a green card? So this comes up pretty often in my practice. So the answer is, let's say you are in status. So let's say you have an H-1B and you're married to a green card holder. You don't need to wait. You usually don't need to wait. If you're in status, you definitely don't need to wait. If you're out of status, so let's say you had an illegal entry, or you had some kind of tourist visa or another visa that's now expired, and now you're married to a green card holder, you also may not need to wait until they become a citizen to apply. So there are two ways that this can be handled. So one way, you might be able to leave the US, process abroad, and come back in. That's one way. The other way is, if you qualify, you may be able to process your whole green card in the US. So this is even if you had an illegal entry, if you're married to a green card holder, if you came legally and then your status expired. In some cases, you can adjust your status, meaning you can become a green card holder based on your spouse in the United States without having to leave, right? Not everybody qualifies, but to see if you qualify, give us a call. Many people do qualify. So give us a call. We are at 703-348-1663. We can schedule a consultation for you, and we can kind of walk through that process and see what would work best for you. But either way, you can, if you're married to a green card holder and you either had an illegal entry or you're no longer in status, you may still be able to apply for your green card. It just depends on the path, the process that will work best for you given your situation, right? So give us a call to schedule a consultation. We're at 703-348-1663. Hi, Yash. Hi, Jesse. I'm streaming right now on both TikTok and on Facebook, so feel free, if you're on, say hi. Tell me where you're from. Hi, Jesse. Hi, Raish. Hi, Sugar Mama. Hi, Anjana. Hi, Narita. Hi, MK Pro. Great. And again, go ahead and put your questions in, and I'll do my best to answer them for you. Okay? I'll do my best to answer them for you. All right. Another question that comes up pretty often in our practice is, I'm separated or divorced from, and I have a green card pending, right? So if you're married and you're either separated or divorced and you have a green card application pending, what do I do? What do you do? So it's possible that based on the problems that you're having in your marriage with your spouse, that you could still move forward with that green card application. So what would happen then is you convert that application into a self-petition. So it's still based on your marriage to a U.S. citizen or a green card holder. And if you're now separated, if your spouse helped you file your green card, and then now they don't want to move forward with it, or they're threatening to withdraw it, or they're threatening to have you deported. And we see this so often. Unfortunately, we see this so often. So if you're having either problems in your marriage, you have a green card application pending, and you're separated or you're divorced from your spouse, you may still be eligible to file on your own without your spouse. So we could convert that joint marriage-based green card application to a self-petition. And so what that would get you is work authorization in about 6 to 8 months after we apply. So it's completely separate from that other green card application. And you would get a green card in about 2 to 2.5 years. And this is essentially takes that green card application and you can convert it to one that's just for you, that you can do without your spouse at all, right? It's still a family-based, quote unquote, family-based in a sense, because it's based on your marriage to your spouse, but you won't need your spouse any further if you were married, if your marriage was not just for immigration purposes, if it was a valid marriage where you intended to enter into a life together with your spouse, then we can certainly use that and convert it to a self-petition. So if you or someone you know is in this situation, feel free to have them give us a call, and we would certainly be able to do a consultation and to help them move forward with that green card application on their own without their spouse. Okay? Great. Okay, so the other question that also comes up often is, let's say you entered with someone else's passport or a visa, and you're married to either a U.S. citizen or a green card holder. So you didn't have any legal entry in the sense that you maybe didn't cross the border illegally, but let's say you came in with a valid document, but it just didn't belong to you. And now you're married to a U.S. citizen or you're married to a green card holder. What do you do in this kind of situation, right? So what do you do in this kind of situation? So you still have options. Okay, you still have options in this kind of situation. You can still apply for a green card in some instances, right? And you can still process that green card potentially in the United States. So if you're married to a U.S. citizen or a green card holder, and let's say you entered with a document through a valid port of entry, so through an airport, right? And you saw CBP, you came in, but it wasn't your document, it wasn't your passport, it wasn't your green card. You may still be eligible to apply for a green card based on your marriage if you're married to a U.S. citizen or to a green card holder. So if you're in this situation, what happens is we apply for a waiver to forgive the illegal entry, right? But you would still be able to apply and get a work authorization. Of course, call us to see if you're eligible, and we can screen you and let you know. But if you are, you would get work authorization in about 6 to 8 months, and you would get a green card in about 2 to 2.5 years. And here's the other thing. The one other thing that you would also get is travel authorization, right? So you might also get travel authorization, and that means that you can visit home while your application is pending, and that might come even as soon as 6 to 8 months. So certainly this is a huge benefit for people that have not been home, that had that illegal entry and have not left. If they qualify, it gets them work authorization, it can get you travel authorization, and it can also get you a green card in about 2 to 2.5 years. All right. Great. So that's all I had. That's all I had for today. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining. It was really nice to see you. Again, my name is Pratibha Agarwal. I'm an immigration lawyer. I only practice immigration law. I don't practice anything other than immigration law. If we can help you, please feel free to reach our office for a consultation. Say hi to Brian if you call today. We're at 703-348-1663. Look forward to hearing from you. Thank you so much. Bye.